Yes, Mickey, with less than a 16th to go. What the Hill, a short lead. Lindy the Great to the inside. Yes, Mickey, coming to the wire. It's What the Hill and David Miller winning the
pocket sitter. Turned first over attacker What the Hill. And behind them, Dover Dan from in third. International Money still got work to do. They're in deep stretch. And here comes What the Hill. And Miller on the outside. What the Hill converting off the pocket trip to win the Canadian Trotting Classic. He won it by 3 going away. It's What the Hill.
Third, 3/4, 124 and 2 into the stretch. Looks like a Chippendale appears to be on the verge. Crazy Wild trying to fend him off. Room at the rail for What the Hill. He's raging late. And in heavy traffic is Pinkman on the far outside. Dayson trying to close in. But off the rail comes What the Hill, the 3-year-old. What the Hill to seal his division. What the Hill. Then Dayson. And then it was Pinkman third. And Mambo Lindy fourth. What the Hill in 151 and 4 in the TVG.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just get rid of Mr. Moloney there for a second. A little bit of a heads up as to who might be coming on to the show, but tonight's show, of course, Talking Trotters for What the Hill, offers to be quite a good one. Got a very, very interesting little story. We'll get rid of that until we get some comments coming in, but please fire your comments in at any stage straight away. Unbelievable. Stuart Tanner, hello to you, mate, from a very warm and sunny London. Mate, still got the hoodie at the back. Got to go the other side, that'll do. Out the back here. She's still not warm here in Victoria. The weather is turning, but still not great. And there was good races actually over in Wales. Got to do some more with the guys over there. A few of the races happening over there. But great to have you, Stuart. He's a great supporter of Campbell's comments, and I really do appreciate everyone who gives me feedback and also fires the comments in, because it only helps grow. We can get more and more messaging out there. Do shows like this where we just purely talk about the Trotters tonight, and then on Loose Lines where we'll cover off on quite a few things, and we might try and get a few different guests in next week and change it up. Who knows? Never know what will happen. We might talk about we'll work that out with on Loose Lines. But tonight, of course, is Talking Trotters for What the Hill, and he actually arrived today at Woodlands. He stepped off the truck, and he's a pretty impressive lad when you look at him here with the videos. I must say, Maddie Grayland done a great job with these videos. She forwarded them through to me, so well done firstly to Maddie. But have a look at the big fella walking out there. He's pretty happy to be back. I killed the audio on this, the video that is playing up there on my feed. You'll be able to see that. And yeah, the footage is pretty awesome of him. That is for sure. Big show tonight. I'll let this keep playing as just to see he getting out there. But it got a big show. Caught up with Kathryn McLachan. She's a great story. I tell you what, having a terrific run at the minute. So it's she's got plenty going on. Got to shut that down. Got lots happening here. I might have just took things a bit easy just the last 5 minutes prior to going live, but I appreciate everyone on. Gerard Moloney is on there. We're going to get Gerard on in a minute to talk about the Stallion Tender in Swan Hill. A lot of paces involved, but quite a few trotters and a couple of really nice new ones too. But I'll get the interview with Kathryn. But you can see there What the Hill well and truly enjoying pick and getting out. It is very wet. We say it's raining, Jeffrey, here in Seymour. They've had horrendous weather in Auckland, they tell me today. So, but the big fella looks happy. Got a beautiful coat. Great life being some of these stallions, the way they get to travel the world and live in the summertime. So great to have him here. And of course, he had a winner at the Red Mile on the weekend. This is a 2-year-old trotting filly. It's My Hill. It's My Show was by Sweet Lou, won on the same day. Number 2 for Yannick Gringar. I won't show the whole of the race, but you can see they're getting the spot behind the leader and ends up 3 back the fence. We better go back just a little bit. You get a chance to have a look at the call, listen to the call. I forget exactly how he said it, but yeah, it's a pretty impressive call, but a very, very impressive 2-year-old trotting filly here, winning in 1:56. And one running away from him at the Red Mile, and there's plenty more racing to come with the Red Mile over the next week or two, so we'll try and keep you abreast of all of that. But of course, if you want to breed to What the Hill, make sure you go to woodlandstud.co.nz, and I should yep, they're right there. You can see it right there across the bottom. Sorry, Jeffrey, cut you off for the minute, but woodlandstud.co NZ there to be able to go to What the Hill. Of course, 12 wins himself, $1.3 million in stakes, stand for $7,000 plus GST in NZ and $7,700 including GST with the guys at Woodlands. But also don't forget they also have Speeding Spur there, and we'll talk about some stand tenders in a minute. But hit the Speeding Spur, of course. Stands there, he's going to be in a couple of stadium tenders as well coming forward, so we'll make sure we get the messaging out there for him. Very relaxed stadium. Yeah, Jeff, I like you edit any of the videos going up, and he basically was right in Maddie's face. There was too much she could show. He's pretty affectionate sort of a horse, so yeah, it wasn't worth showing close-ups of him, but some of them. But yeah, he's just an impressive horse. So looking forward to. Hopefully, wouldn't mind getting across there. Might try and get across there in the next month or two. Get across to New Zealand and see how we go from there and go that way. But anyway, said there before. Had a really cool interview with a lady. This lady's name is Kathryn McLachan. She owns Dexteros Dexter. She actually got me on the hop, actually, if I get the field up here, who won the Queensland Triad for the 3-year-old Trotters. It's just not coming up just at the minute. I just got to make sure I get it all right on Saturday night. So she, Dexteros Dexter is the horse's name. He's by My High Expectation out of Nora Jones, trained by Alana Richardson. Spoke to Alana Canberra. He's online. Hello to you, Cameron. I spoke to Alana before. She was still bouncing and so happy. I would have loved to have done the interview with her, but we actually got hold of Kathryn, the lady we don't hear a lot about. But she actually owns the 2nd and 3rd horses also in race number 10. So she won the Q-bred 3-year-old trotting final with Dexteros Dexter, and then 2nd and 3rd with Northern Heights. I'm going to actually throw to that interview, and I'll be back afterwards with Gerard Moloney. But yeah, just have a good listen. It's a good story, and it's really a few little things keep coming back. So it's a great little story about how she come to breed these horses and just the enjoyment she's getting out of the industry. Now I'm talking Trotters, proudly brought to you by What the Hill. Catching up with a lady, Kathryn McLachan. Firstly, Kathryn, welcome to Campbell's Comments and Talking Trotters.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And congratulations on what's just been a magical run with your Trotters, especially Dexteros Dexter. He will be the pin-up boy right at the minute. But with these 3 Trotters that you got going around at the minute, congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Yes, look, Dexterous. When he was born, he nearly died on us, so he did. So he has just done so well, so he has. Like 4 on in now. So who could ask for more than that?
He's won 4 on end, the 2 naughty 2-year-olds. Anyone wondering, so we're talking about the winner of the Q-bred 3-year-old trotting final at Triad final, at Queensland, just last Saturday night. And Dexteros Dexter, he got the chockies in race 9, and then in race 10, Northern Heights and Gate with Grace unfortunately didn't get the chockies, but they ran 2nd and 3rd. I don't think it would really have mattered, Kathryn, to you that you would have still just been proud of the fact they filled the placings.
Oh, certainly. I mean, Northern Heights, the one that got 2nd, he for the first time, I think it is, that he was a naughty boy. He broke for a short little period, and then he got down and he came within about 3 metres of the winner that came up the sprint lane. So he really he ran a fantastic race, so he did. So we certainly, not disappointed with him or the little filly. I mean, we couldn't be disappointed with them. So we had a great night, so we did. It's something that you dream of when you breed these horses, so you do, and you just think, oh, we hope we get there. And 3 of them have just turned out to be fantastic, so they have. So little Dexter Dextrous, he's done us really proud, so he has. So
how come do you say his name backwards? Can I ask, or is there a reason? Like he came out the other way?
No, Dexter's Dexter. Sorry, did I say it the wrong way around?
That's fine. It's okay. You're allowed to say whichever way you want. Don't worry about that at all.
Normally I say it right, but I think I've been so excited over the weekend that it's just all getting a bit much now. So it is.
No, the beauty of he and Gate with Grace, they're full brother and sister. It's a pinch yourself sort of moment. Their mother, Nora Jones, did you race her, or how did you come to get this whole breeding going?
I bought her from New Zealand. She had won one race over there, and I brought her over here and I raced her, and she won, I think, four races for me.
Yep.
And I thought, oh, well, it's time to breed. So I did that, and this is the result of Nora Jones. She's had some previously. They've all won races. They haven't been brilliant, but they have certainly, run races, and they've all been perfect trotters. They've just got the perfect gait, the whole lot of them. I don't think I've had to worry about them breaking. If they get away, which they have, you haven't got your heart in your mouth, so you haven't. They are great trotters, so they are.
One of those horses won 12. Nora's Fling won 12 races. So I mean, she's had 4 foals, and it's just very, very impressive. How long have you been in the game for, Kathryn?
About 22 years. I was down in Sydney when I stayed, and my brother-in-law had horses, so he did, and he was always talking about them. My sister was talking about them, so I thought, oh, that sounds fun. I was hearing about them all the time, so I thought I may as well get one. So I leased, and it happened to be a trotter that I leased first.
Yep.
And I got it over here and went to the races, and the first start, it won. So I thought, oh, this is a pretty good game to be in. So from there on, I was hooked, so I was. And the funny thing is, then I got Whizman. He came from New Zealand. And what happened, I took him to the races, and he beat my high expectations way back, in 2010.
Oh, so there's even more.
Yeah,
wow.
That was the stallion. So it was that we beat.
Wow.
Back then.
What horse was that? Sorry, I didn't quite catch his name.
Whizman beat my high expectation.
Yeah.
Which is the stallion for my 3.
For the 3 of yours. So, and that was a horse you purchased from New Zealand. So did you always have a bit of a soft spot for my high expectations?
Well, what happened to when he was bought in America and he came over here, got broken in, and then he came to my brother-in-law that was a trainer. So I was living at that time across the road from him, and I used to go across, and I saw this horse going around and around. And I thought, oh, gee, he looked a nice horse, trotting away there. And that was my high expectation. So I just followed his career. He only had a couple of starts at Albion Park.
Yep.
And then he went down to Victoria.
Yep.
So, over the years, I kept watching him and just following him. And then when the time came, I was thinking of breeding again. And he happened to be available, and he was very reasonably priced, So I thought, oh, well, okay, my high expectations. I know a bit about him. I'll go to him. And away I went. And this is the result.
He was a beautiful horse. I was lucky enough to be, like I'm a Victorian person, so I was lucky enough to see him quite a lot. David Aiken, he can turn a horse out.
Right.
Akey can, and he's just an exceptional looking horse. He won 480,000. Just got his record up here in front of me. 107 starts, 34 wins, 16 seconds, and 12 thirds. And he raced at the highest company for most of the time. I just need to ask, who is your brother-in-law, Kathryn?
Oh, Dennis Smith. He was the trainer until he had an accident with the horses, so he gave it away.
Yeah.
And then, when these came along, I had to get trainers. So then I've got Melissa and Keith Gillies and Adam and Alana Richardson. So between them, they've got my 3 horses.
Yeah.
So they have. So that's how that's come about.
So do you only have 3 horses at the minute?
No, I've got another one that's about to come back. We've had a few problems with him, but it's another trotter. So all of them that I've got at the moment are trotters. I think that's how it'll finish too, with just trotters. I've got Ignite,
which
I purchased.
Yep.
hopefully he goes to the trials tomorrow, so he should be on the way back. He's had problems after problems, but hopefully we've sorted him out. And I've got him, and I have got another, a brother of these other three that should be coming back. We're hoping that he'll be back in about October. So he's by my high expectation too.
And he's a brother to these ones as well.
He is.
You've got two mares, because I think one was out of Solar Girl. Northern Lights is out of Solar Gift, sorry.
That's right.
And you own her as well. Do you own many mares, or is it just the two mares?
No, just the two. Wow. They've done all the great work for me, so I've only got the two. Northern Heights has been excellent because we got Northern Muscle out of her, and she won 25 races.
Wow.
And, she just...
you're upsetting you're upsetting a lot of people. There's a lot of people we try all of our life to have a nice couple of horses, and Northern Muscle won 26, Silk and Sun won a race, Solar Fling,
that's right.
And then you've got Northern Power, must be the other horse you're talking about there that's had the two starts.
The one.
Yeah, so it's had the two starts. So so he's not far off coming back at all. Are you breeding again this year, Kathryn?
No, I think my breeding days might be over, so I do.
Oh, that's not news to Darren Ray's ears. Darren would be he'd be hoping to say the answer to that would have been a yes.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you never say die, do you? It's still early, so it is. But, I just have to stop and think, so I do.
Can I?
We'll see.
May I be as cheeky as to ask how old you are, Kathryn?
Look, I'm just in the 70s now, so I'm thinking it might be a bit old in the tooth.
No, you keep enjoying it. I think it's. I just think it's a great story. I think the last 4 weeks you've had at least one winner on the Tuesdays, if not two winners on most of those days. I think it's a terrific. Do you get a real buzz out? I sort of shouldn't ask this question because I can tell by the tone of your voice, but a buzz out of it.
I get a fantastic buzz, and my husband does too. So really, it's not just me; he's involved with me, sort of thing. We love it, so we do. We had a great night on Saturday night. We're all harnessed, so we are. We keep up with all the news, and it's a great sport to be involved in. It is.
You are the news at the minute, Kathryn. That's the best part. That's the best part now for yourself.
I've never had all this publicity, so I haven't. I don't know how to take it, so I don't. It's
I think you should enjoy it. I think it's great. I think it's great for trotting. I think it's good for harness racing. That's what harness racing actually is, and I think it's a really good story. Just a quick one. I spoke to Alana Richardson. That's how I actually got your name, and she's only been training for about 4 or 5 years. This has been. I said, "Is this your biggest win?" And she said, "Oh, easily by far." And Melissa Gillies. It's a name that I don't know a lot about. How did you come to get Alana and Melissa as your trainers?
Well, amazingly enough, Adam, the husband, is the driver. He drove Northern Muscle for me. So he did. He got many a win for Northern Muscle. So naturally, when they were down he was driving Northern Muscle, and then they moved to Wagga. They were down on Wagga for a little while, and then we heard they were coming back.
Yep.
And they were looking for horses. So the brother-in-law, he said to me, "Well, they are coming back. I think they're looking for horses." So he sort of got in touch with them, and they said yes. And I thought, well, he had driven Northern Muscle.
Yep. So
here's his chance to go for the others. So that's how we got them. And Keith, Melissa's husband, we've known Keith for 20 years. I'm moving. Yeah, I think it's probably about that. So naturally, we had a couple, so we gave it to them. So we did. So
and they're doing
that was it.
They're doing a great job. I think Alana said there to me before. I think she's only got 6 in work, and 4 of those are trotters as well. So I think that part's good. I don't know a lot about Melissa. I might endeavour to find out a bit more.
No,
I will get.
They're only young, coming along, so they are. They're only on the up and coming, so they are. But the whole four of them, between them, they're all doing a great job with the Trotters. With ours, we couldn't be more happy with them, so we couldn't be. But yeah, Melissa and Keith are only young, so they're on the upward trend, so they are. So I'm pleased for them too, and for Alana and Adam, that, you know, they're getting a thrill out of having these horses that are going so well too. So they are. So
Well,
the whole lot of us are having the thrill.
I could tell you Alana was still upbeat, even though she has been moving house all day today, and
I heard that.
and she's on her way. She's on her way to Redcliffe tonight. So she said she's sort of tired, but not in her voice. She was so upbeat,
Upbeat.
and so she should be. That's the whole thing. My high expectation stands for, I think, $1,000 service fee. He's a beautifully bred horse. Darren Ray at Medowie Lodge, and you can get in touch with Darren in regards to that. I know he's upbeat. I just think it's a really good story. I love what's going on in Queensland and the positivity around Queensland harness racing. And when there is positivity, these sort of stories come out, don't they, Kathryn? When everyone's upbeat, all of a sudden there's some really good stories come out about it.
Exactly. You hear so many, so you do, and it's really good, so it is. And the Trotters up here are just like they're going ahead leaps and bounds, so they are. So it's all good, so it is. We hope it continues now, so we do.
I do.
I
do too. Is there any?
I'll have a few breaks.
Oh, that's what I'm going to ask. Is there any plans with the three of them at the minute?
Well, I think they'll have just an easy week or two, and I think there's a race for them again at the end of September up here. So they'll just take it a bit easy for a couple of weeks and then try again then. So we will. So keep our fingers crossed that everything goes well with them.
Oh, I think everyone will be as well. So don't you worry about that, Kathryn. Thank you. I really appreciate you giving me the time, but I think well done. It's a great story, and it's great. You've been in the game for a long time, and you've had success. But you said to me off air just there before, never like what you're having at the minute. And for my sake, for everyone's sake, I think they all would say hopefully it continues for you. Other than probably the beaten brigade in the fields of Queensland, they're probably saying enough's enough. You can start sharing it around a bit now.
Yeah, probably, but we'll take what we can get, so we will. It'll be lovely, so it will.
No,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kathryn.
Thank you.
No, we're back. I'm back. And I do have Gerard Moloney there as well. Gerard, I forgot to turn the audio back on, but we're back. Don't worry, I've got all that sorted out. And hello, Gerard. Welcome back. Welcome to Talking Trotters, mate.
Thanks, Paul. You're glad to be here tonight.
I know you were on there just listening to a little bit of that story. It's just a great story, isn't it, of a lady that's quietly sort of, I suppose, kept around, if you like, around the industry for 25 years, but no fanfare or nothing like that, and just the run she's just having at the minute. Before we get on to yours, Gerard, Dexter, it's a mouthful. When you're saying it back to front, anyone that knows how I talk, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm reading this wrong because I can get myself into trouble. We've got a lot of Queenslanders on there. Don't worry about that. I've got Brad Steele, Bernie Ring, Jack Butler, Darren Clayton, or someone else I thought I saw on there as well. So there's plenty of people on there. Please get in there and comment. But it's not always about prize money or winning races, Gerard. But this season, Dexter's won 56,000. He's had 14 starts, 5 wins, and 4 placings, and most of those have been in this last week. Northern Heights, of course, has only raced this season because she's only a 2-year-old. Has had 6 starts for 2 wins and $20,000 in stakes. And Gate with Grace has had 4 starts for 3 wins and a third. For another 20,000. They've won $100,000 this season. It's just we don't sing the praises of these stories enough. Sorry, I'm doing waving my hands and you can't see it, but we don't tell these stories about how great this is. She spent $3,000 in service fees and she's just having an absolute ball.
Isn't it sensational? I just love those sort of stories, and great to see her at her 70+ age enjoying. 3 horses are going terrific.
It's always a dangerous question to ask a lady, and I was polite about it. And the 70-ish was enough for me. We'll leave it at that. But I just think well done. And I think the other thing that is really cool is Melissa Gillies and Alana Richardson. They're not household names. They're not the big names. I'm sure Jack Butler and a few of the other guys that are on there watching probably would like to get the horses to train. But I think that's encouraging, and I'll try and catch up with Melissa if I can. She doesn't have a phone number advertised, so I'll need someone probably to get the OK one, the ringer, and then also try and organise that for me. But anyway, we'll get to that. And as a trotting person, I thought, well, you won't mind. I was going to get you on at the start of the show, and I thought, no, it's a really good talking point, I think, to start off about the Trotters and the fun that they do bring. And you're having a terrific run yourself at the minute, mate.
Yeah, I'm sort of very, very happy with how things are going. As you said, we had the little trotter with Blake Fitzpatrick. I've got a share in it that won the Nutrien 2-year-old Colts final.
Yep.
It's going terrific. He'll come back, I think, for the heats and final of the Vic-bred, and hopefully he might be able to get a bit of that as well.
Yeah, and it's a cool story how you come to get that horse. Just to rub salt into our wounds down here in Victoria, but Darren Clayton's also turned around and said there's also 3 of the $14,000 Q-bred bonuses on top. So there's another, what's that, 28, 38, 42,000. So, yeah, I'm sure Kathryn's really enjoying these horses at the minute. Anyway, they're not just rubbing our nose into it when they talk about the weather these days, but we won't worry about that at the minute. What's the horse's name? His name's left me at the minute, but you bought the mare through the Winter Woolies.
I did, yes.
And you were able to, then because you liked the mare and you touched space with Fitzpatrick's, and they said, well, you can have a small share in him, which is awesome.
Yeah, and look, I think he's had 8 starts, 3 wins, 3 seconds, a third, and then he was unplaced in one where he galloped and didn't know what to do. So, he's going terrific, won about 50,000 as well. So for a 2-year-old trotter, it's don't have to have a big investment to enjoy.
No, definitely don't. Jack Butler, I was being tongue-in-cheek, but I'm glad to see you type in there too, and I encourage people to get involved because it does grow the show. But of course he says, nah, mate, because I turned around and said he probably would like to train them, but he just goes, they're really good friends and so happy to see them get so much success for them. And I think that is the joy of the Trotter, Gerard. We see so many... everything from young drivers. Zach Phillips was on there before, and Zach can drive any horse, but I think he's got an innate skill with a trotter as well, and that showed through years ago. There, he's no longer a full-time driver, which is a pity. But you get to see trainers and drivers shine in a different light instead of this competitive pacing field that they're up against all the time.
Yeah, no, look, I think it's terrific, and it's good to see the young guys and girls doing a terrific job with the Trotters. And I've had a bit of experience with Zach with a couple that I've bred, and he does a terrific job with the Trotters.
He drove the mare Charlotte on Saturday night, just gone. So, and we might get onto that. We will get onto your stallion tender. There is a reason for it. I just got one more one because I know you're okay with odd things as well. Medowie Lodge, Darren Ray, and he's a good mate of mine, and I do his video work. I'll show me hand, for the Nutrien yearling sales and the rest. But he does a great job in New South Wales. He doesn't have any high price, highfalutin stallions, if he likes. He stands Tiger Tara, Follow the Stars, Timothy Red, My High Expectations, and also My Cha-Ching, another horse trained by. Actually, that's not. I won't go there. My Cha-Ching. That photo is actually wrong on that picture. So he's got 5 stallions on his books. Timothy Red and My Cha-Ching's horses. That's a mouthful. Foals. Timothy Red is standing for his first season. So his other 3 stallions, 2 of those are paces. They've all had a trotting winner this week. How's that? How's that for an oddity? Tiger T. That's Not My Gate. And then Desteros Dexter. So I reckon that's pretty cool for a stud that only has 5 horses, and not a lot going on. I think it's just a ripping little thing. And if you want to get in touch with Darren, just go to Medowie Lodge. Best on Facebook. They do have a website, actually, Medowie Lodge, and you'll be able to find them at either of those, based just above Newcastle, I think. I'll get into trouble. I know where it is, but I just drive there, follow my nose. Right, mate. Stallion tender is out for Swan Hill. And we will put it on loose lines. We'll go through all of the paces as well. But firstly, you must be wrapped again with your continued support from so many studs, and from the trotting point of view, some of the quality that you've been able to secure.
Look, all the studs have been terrific, and even I've got probably 3 new studs on board this year who I haven't had horses with before, and but they just come on board straight away and been more than more than happy to help out where they can. Spoke to Brad Angove this morning to see whether he might be able to help me out with Sundown's Courage. Well, I've got him on the stallion tender. He's probably another one a bit like High Expectations. He's got the runs on the board. He's been a super racehorse during the time, and even with the limited number of foals he's got on the ground, he's got quite a few winners, or quite a few that are winning trials and showing quite a bit of ability. So I think at $1,500, you'll probably pick up a bit cheaper than that on the stallion tender. So I think that's a bit like my High Expectations. You could come out with a nice horse.
We might have to get Darren on next year. We'll have to put some pressure on him and try and do a deal there. Neville R Stud, though, too. We'll get on to the ones that are tried and true and stuck with you for a long time, but great to get them on board. But did they ever stay in a couple of years ago with you? Are they...
Yeah, they've helped set a few times, and I speak with Jed Moore from time to time, and I got in touch with him earlier this year, probably only a few weeks ago, and they come on board again straight away. So we've got creatine through Neville R Stud, which he's starting to get some nice horses going around the place at the moment, locally and over in New Zealand. So Frozen Seaman.
Doing an awesome job, creatine. He pops up all the time. And as you said, keep an eye on the New Zealand results, and I will go through those at the end of the night too, because I want to start promoting what's going on in New Zealand. But he's doing a very, very good job, creatine. He's flying a little bit under the radar.
Absolutely, yep. And not overly expensive either. So he's a good one for people to be looking at.
This is Talking Trotters for What the Hill. We've got Soho Standardbreds. Mick Stanley have come on board with Soho Lanakai, but also Torello with Kerry Hymans, who I saw yesterday with Lenny the Shark and Tell All. They're pacing horses, but it's great to have them as part of your stallion tender. There's not a lot of call for trotting stallions in Tasmania at the minute.
No, look, and I spoke to Kerry, who I haven't met, but I sort of knew who she was, and she's actually purchased horses or stallion services off me over the years through the stallion tender. So she came on board, and she organised Lenny the Shark and Tell All straight away. It was the studs are just unbelievable. They're all out there to help the clubs and help the breeders. So have a talk to them all. They're really great people to work with.
No, absolutely. Then the four that have, for as long as I've been promoting it with you, these four have all been a part of the Swan Hill Stallion tender, and it's great to get them on again. Alabar, we'll go with first. Vincent and Ride High, again, two that aren't trotting stallions, but just their continued support for Swan Hill.
Yep. Look, Alabar have been in there right from the start. Brett Coffey and his team are really terrific to work with, and a couple of really nice stallions there. Vincent's doing a super job at the moment. And Ride High, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't do very well, as a stallion as well. So two quality stallions there.
No, absolutely. Then Woodlands, you've secured a service fee for What the Hill, which is terrific, and they've always got behind you. But it's great that they come on board again, mate.
Yep, Mark Hughes. Only got to give him a phone call and we have a chat, and they've been with us ever since we started as well. So. I'm glad we've got What the Hill to name your segment. So, and we've also got Lather Up from Woodlands. So again, two really quality stallions.
Absolutely. We'll stick with, I suppose, Kath McIntosh, if you like, Northern Rivers. She's got two pacing stallions with Yankee Rockstar and Raging Bull, which I'm sure you're happy about. How excited were you to realise that she was going to give you a tender for King of the North?
Oh, look, I didn't pencil that one in from the start. That when I got it offered, it was too good to knock back. And I'm actually looking to go over to the Stallion Parade on September the 10th, and I'm really keen to have a look at King of the North. I've got a couple of mares that I've already booked into him, and really keen to have a look at him and see what he's like. Yeah,
I should have had the video there, but anyway, I forget some things sometimes, but he did arrive. You can see it on the feed anyway, either on my feed or Lower Long Farms feed, with him arriving the other day. And he's an athletic horse. He's only just come off the racetrack, he's lovely, beautiful. It was actually a good day. 3 black horses come off the truck. It's pretty impressive when that happens on those days. And then Aldebaran Park and Duncan McPherson, Dancing in the Dark M, which we did last year, and Sky Valley. I believe we did both of those last year, and
Yep.
they've both come back to again this year.
Yes, yeah. Look, Duncan's great to work with, and he sort of helps all the clubs where he can. And to have these two stallions, and like Dancing in the Dark has had one season here this year, so it'll be nice to see what his foals are like when they hit the ground. And Sky Valley, what a job he's doing for a trotter that's been around for a while. He just keeps leaving winners all the time. And I couldn't be happier with the two stallions that I've got from Aldebaran Park. And as I say, Duncan, he just puts his hand up straight away when we ask about the stallion tender. So look, we've got a lot of nice stallions. We can sort of cater for all budgets, and don't expect to get a too big a discount. Most of these stallions through the stallion tender will sell somewhere between 70% and 80% of their advertised service fee. Be prepared to put a bid in, but like I say, don't lowball on it because you might miss out.
And that's how these work. We want to make sure people understand exactly how these stallion tenders work, and I will put a proper banner up. As I said, it's actually, before we say about how it works, it is September 8th. Is that right? That I saw that it comes online?
It starts on the 8th of September and finishes on the 22nd of September, which is a Friday at 5 p.m.
Yep.
And I've only just finalised this roster as of today, so it'll be up on our website by later in the week. But like I say, just be aware, it doesn't really start until the 8th of September.
No.
Been interesting too. I've probably had 4 people who purchased stallion services through the stallion tender previously, who've actually been sending messages and ringing up and saying, what do you got this year, and when are we starting, and blah blah blah. So I'm sort of thinking it'll hopefully go well again this year, and you will get a cheaper service fee than what you would usually from the studs. But as I say, as an average, it's somewhere between the 70 and 80% usually.
Just so people are aware, there's no point putting a bid in for $1 and think you're a chance of winning them, because there is a minimum, and that minimum's around the 70% that you'll accept.
Yep, that's right. Look, we accept any bid, and we actually, if somebody bids on 2 or 3, I usually ring up and clarify to see whether they want the 3 or whether they'll just take 1 or what their preference is. So we try and keep everything transparent so that somebody doesn't get lumbered with 3 when they only want 1, or if they want the 3, well, that's fine as well. So be prepared to give me a ring. The phone number will be on the tender form, so give me a ring if you need any information on anything at all. More than happy to have a chat.
No, I think it's great, and I love the fact the stallions. You had a meeting yesterday at Swan Hill, Gerard. Not ideal timing for a man that loves his breeding, but firstly, how did the meeting go last night?
Yeah, it went terrific. We had 9 races. We had the Victorian Harness Racing Owners Club, or whatever they call themselves. They were sponsoring the race. So that was $1,500 if you were registered with your horse and if it won, and $500 to the trainers who were registered. And it's good to see Peter Lindbergh have a win with his trotter, and he's picked up the $1,500 bonus, and Stephen as trainer picked up the $500 bonus, I think. So they've had a good night on top of the win.
I'll be honest. Anyone wondering why your name keeps coming in and out? I've got 2 mice in front of me. I've 3 computers in front of me, but I have 2 mice in front of me, and I couldn't work out why something wasn't working. Then I realised I was turning your name on and off on the screen, so I wasn't doing it on purpose. I had the wrong screen. But he's a beautiful horse, Down Under Muscles. Star Down Under, who is actually by Down Under Muscle, and he's done a great job for connections. He's a 9-year-old as well, so it is great. That's again another good trotting story, but you had 8 trotters go there. They come from near and far. I mean, that's got to be great for Swan Hill that these people are doing that as well.
Oh, absolutely. Like, we have a trotters race most meetings, and most of the time it stands up pretty well. And look, we're rapt to see them, and there is a bit of travel to get to Swan Hill, but look, we try and look after people when they get here. So we had Lisa Miles come up last night, so she had a winner as well. So everybody's pretty happy with the track. If we can get them up here, we'll look after them.
No, absolutely. Get a free feed as well. The Breed to Succeed was on last night, Gerard. I was going to get someone on and talk about it, but it was a good night. I know as an avid breeder, it's good what Harness Breeders Victoria are doing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, terrific. I was a bit dark. We had the trotting meeting on last night, and I couldn't go. But I've spoken to Kathryn McLachan today, and she said it was really well attended. I've seen on social media the people that won the service fees to Pastor Stephen, Vincent, and American Ideal, I think.
Yes.
What great prizes.
Oh, it was quite funny. There was 100 people. There was 100 chairs set up, and people were sort of sitting everywhere, and there was a full row at the back, and I think so. Five chairs. Two of the gentlemen on the very back row. And then one of the gentlemen in the second last row, all on the same side. There was a line going up the middle. You couldn't believe it. Like they were just randomly drawn out. But they all managed to actually get the chockies from that one section. It was quite ironic to say the least.
Yeah, interesting too. Like we just mentioned American Ideal. Well, I noticed David Murphy had a trotter racing by American Ideal middle of last week.
Yep.
Not sure how it went, but most of these good pacing stallions are throwing a trotter here and there.
You're in trouble, Gerard. You could actually nearly run this show. You're a bit like Nick Hooper and a few of these other guys now. You know how I work, so you sort of can throw me under the bus. I have actually. We'll just go to it. It'll be fine. I can come back to actually. If I do it this way, it'll be fine. I'll get the results of that horse up. It was at Ballarat. I know it was at Ballarat on Friday night. It was in race number 3 from memory.
I think it finished at midfield.
No, it must have been in race number 1. There it is. Star of the Wind, I think it was. It's a first starter by American Ideal out of a Christian Cullen mare in Tessanova. So that's where the trot will come from, because Christian Cullen throws plenty of trotters. It's quite a funny little one, because people say, what a Christian Cullen's trot? But True Roman was out of a half-sister to Christian Cullen. So there's definitely trot in that family. People will look at it and can't see trotters anywhere, but I think there's only I don't know why I do this to myself, Gerard. I'm gonna have to get my own answer now that I've done this. But Pleasant I don't think it's Pleasant Franco. I've got to go this way. You're not in a hurry to go anywhere. No one else is. People are there. Please make sure you fire your questions in. I do have another question for you. No, so Pleasant Franco, it's not. It's actually Pleasant Evening. Trying to work out.
What a good horse True Roman was.
He was a superstar. Yeah, he was a horse I had a great association with. Jake was his stable name. And I can't work out exactly how it all works. I'll have to just try and see if I can see the mother of it. I actually had one of the owners of AIM First on last week, and I saw the name and sort of knew it, but it didn't jump out at me in any way. There it is there. So Ramunda. So Ramunda is the mother of True Roman, and Pleasant Evening, if I go back this way, is the mother of Pleasant Franco, who's the mother of Christian Cullen. So there is that way. So so that's how it actually did work. I knew I'd find it if I kept looking, but Ramunda only had 2 foals. She was a Lumber Dream mare herself, and 2 live foals. One was Pleasant Evening, and the other horse was True Roman. So it was definitely trotters there. They tried after that with Jeb Hanover's Muckley Strikes. They must have decided that the trotting was the way to go, but unfortunately not a lot of success. So
we learn something all the time.
Random stuff you can learn on Campbell's Comments. Don't you worry about that. Rightio. Aspiring Eva, of course, the mother of Valentino. One thing we did discuss last week, and I'm sure this must have been a tough decision for you in a way, but also probably exciting. You have a Bold Eagle filly that will be offered up next year with the Nutrien sales catalogue as well, through the sales company. Yes,
she'll be in the Nutrien sales next year. She's a terrific looking filly. I was just talking to Kath McIntosh today, and she said they're just bringing her in so that she gets a bit more handling before the stallion parade, and she said, "Oh, she's grown up and she's looking really impressive." So I'm keen to have another look at her again.
Yeah. So anyone thinking of going to the Stallion Parade at Lower Long Farms, which is on September 10, they don't only parade the stallions. Last year, from memory, we paraded a couple of lather up yearlings. Definitely a couple of Soho Tribecas and poster boy yearlings, and the likes. This year, the filly of yours is definitely going to be one of those ones paraded. Just to I suppose give people an understanding of what you might get. You might look at the stallion and you say, "Oh yeah, that's terrific," but you can't see your horse in that stallion. But seeing these foals on the ground or yearling, well. Yeah, well, I suppose technically they're still weanlings, but when you see them on the ground, you can get an understanding of potentially what you might be able to see yourself.
Absolutely. I think Kath was going to show maybe a couple of tall dark strangers or something like that as well.
Yep. Yeah. I was going to say, because from memory, I don't think all the stallions were necessarily that were Kath's own stallions. So when I say all the stallions, that's going to sound silly, but the foals or the progeny weren't all necessarily Kath McIntosh's by Kath McIntosh's stallions or Lower Long Farm stallions.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's really terrific of her to be able to do that. Just show people some of the other stallions that have got foals on the ground as well. So I'm happy for my filly to get as much exposure as she can get.
No, absolutely. Just a little one on that horse there, and when people start looking and having a think about it, she's out of Aspiring Eva, who's out of Aspiring Gal. Aspiring Gal is a half to Royal Aspirations, who is a stallion in New Zealand. That's just doing an amazing job for the Trotters as well. It's a great family. It's a real quirky little family too, isn't it?
It is. I don't think there's been too many of the mares released out of the family. So and Royal Aspirations himself is doing an extremely good job over in New Zealand for the numbers he's had.
Yep, absolutely. He's doing a great job, and he was a good racehorse himself. But he's doing a great job with the stallions off limited numbers as well. So really, really good. Gerard. Yep. Thank you. I have a few more random things to do for the show, and we'll go through a lot of the winners. I'm going to get Garry Newton on the phone. Garry, if you are watching, hopefully he is, because you'll answer his phone, but and go from there. But please keep an eye out with the Swan Hill harness racing.
Intended.
I was trying to think of your website while I was still talking, which is dangerous for me as well. But is it .com? Swan Hill? No, it's Trots Swan Hill. Is that right?
That's Leading Trot Swan Hill or Swan Hill Trots, I just can't remember. But if you Google that, you'll find it pretty easily. Yep,
that's the best way to do it. But keep up to Ashley Haynes is on. He was there last night. Hello to you, Ashley, twice in the one day. He's having a good run too with his horses as well. But make sure you keep an eye on it. But it will be coming on Cross Campbell's comments feeds. We'll be putting it on the on Loose Lines. The Trotters will get a run there as well as the Pacers. Don't worry about that. But we'll be getting the message out there. But Gerard, thank you. Keep up the good work. We'll look like you didn't make the Nutrien Race Series. You didn't make the Breeders Succeed. Will we see you at Kath McIntosh's Stallion Parade?
I'm definitely booked in. I'll be there unless something unforeseen happens. And I plan to be, all going well, I plan to be at the Vic Breed finals as well. So, I'll be floating around.
That's too far away. You can't plan that far ahead. I know that's for sure. So, very good. All right, mate. Thank you very much for joining me, and really appreciate it. Always appreciate your feedback on the show as well. But keep up the good work, and we'll look forward to seeing the Stallion Tender once it comes out. And thank you to all the Stallion donors as well. So, well done. Thanks, Gerard.
Pleasure. Thanks very much.
Gerard Moloney there from the Swan Hill. Better get rid of that too. Swan Hill Trotting Club. So as he said, best one's nearly Facebook. It's go to type in Swan Hill Harness Racing Club anyway, and it will come up. I can't remember the exact website off the top of my head. So a couple other little things to do. We've got to congratulate Peter McMullen running 6th in the World Drivers' Championships. I'm sure a lot of people would go into these and want to win them, if you like, but it's not always that easy to do. But I think running 6th in the World Drivers' Championships a mighty effort. Blair Orange as well running 8th. Rick Ebbing won it. I think on one of the nights he had 3 winners and 2 seconds from 5 drives. He just had a cracking night. And the 2 Down Under boys had a shocker. They had a couple of gallopers and a few others going on as well. So, well done to him for getting involved in that. Mario Borg is on. I think Mario might be from South Australia, but we will just see. Hopefully Garry answers the phone.
How are you?
Very well, mate, and we are live. Welcome to Campbell's Comments. Oh, I better, I've got to do something but while you're talking, but that's okay. Firstly, welcome, mate, and how's things?
Yes, yeah, very good. Thank you for having us on. We're going to talk about the South Australian Square Trotters Association. They've got a stallion tender, and just wanted to say, it's a great show you've had. I really loved that interview with Kathryn McLachan. That was a great interview.
I try to find something different. There is a couple of others as well. Stacey Towers.
Yes.
I saw Stace last night. She had a great winner there the other day. Focus, and I will highlight that in a sec. I like the difference, and not always the fanfare. And I think they're the stories that we got to keep selling to grow our industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The trotting game or the harness racing game, it's the industry of dreams, isn't it? And when you hear stories about like Kathryn's, there's certainly, does prove that there is definitely, it is a dream to breed horses like that and to have the success that she's had in such a short period of time, even though she's been in the game for 25 years and doing extremely well. But, it's great.
It is, and I think it's just a little passion that she's had, and she's having the ride of her life, and that's what we want to get it out there for. We are here to talk about the stallion tender, and I do have it there for the South Australian Square Trotters Association, which closes August 31st. So that is Thursday. Tomorrow week. Thursday. Scrub that. Thursday week. That's a better way of putting it. So it's not that far away.
Yeah. No. And look, just following on from what Gerard said, thank you to all the studs who have donated their stallions. And, we've got something for everybody. And I should mention also that this is the first one that the South Australian Square Trotters Association has run. And, we're excited that we've got 8 stallions. Something for everybody there. It's, King of the North, you've seen him.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to seeing him at Cass Place on the 10th of September live. He's done a magnificent job on the racetrack. If he's half as good in the breeding barn, that'll be great. Duncan McPherson's come on board once again. Duncan is a great supporter of South Australian trotting, and he's come on board with Dancing in the Dark M and also the great Sky Valley.
Yep.
We've got Sundance Courage. I heard Gerard mention that, he's done a wonderful job on the racetrack, Sundance Courage. So, it should be, really, really good to see how he goes in the breeding barn, and I'm sure he'll do really, really well there too. So,
while you're on him, Garry, I reckon I might give Brad Angove a little bit of a heads up. I reckon he might be my story, because I think there's some chance he'll still be racing for at least a year or two. Could be something quirky for Australian racing that he might end up racing his own progeny, because I don't think there's any urgency to retire him if he's able to keep racing.
Right.
So I think that's cool. But he has got a couple of progeny racing here in Victoria. I don't think he's had a winner yet, but a couple of them have shown a bit of speed. And I could possibly look them up in a second, because I know where they are. They're racing in the Lombo at Shepparton on Friday. So keep an eye on that. They're in the field. I don't have that page open. As I keep saying to people, I sort of, from time to time, overcommit to what I'm doing, which is very unlike me, but I'll get that up. You keep going. So
for sure. And we should also give a big shout out to Mario Borg, who's
Mario's on. So yeah,
and he's brought Cardigan Boko to South Australia to stand at his start at Brabourne Park, and that's a great feather in the cap, because we haven't had a trotting stallion in South Australia for many, many, many years. So that's a great effort to get him. And of course, he was a very good racehorse as well. Won that classic race at Gloucester Park a for Clive Dalton and did a great job there. Speaking of the Angos, they've also donated Kinetic Avenger, the Finnish horse.
Yep.
Which is good.
Yeah, Son of Love You.
Yeah.
So, yep.
Yeah, no, done a wonderful job. And I know your show is sponsored by What the Hill, who stands at Woodlands. Well, we've got his barnmate, of course, Speeding Spur, who was a great racehorse and is starting to do a really good job. So we've got everything from the, from $1,000 stallion right up to King of the Hill, which is an absolute beauty. And I should mention also that the South Australian Square Trotters Association, the money that they raise, they put back into bonuses, two races each month, plus they provide all the trophies and rugs for all the feature trotting races in South Australia. And trotting is really booming over here. We had 3 races today, another 3 on Saturday night trotting races. So the trotters are really going big guns over here.
No, you have indeed. You did. I don't like picking people up. You forgot Peak from Mountain View's stud, Garry. But
I did.
He's a little bit like Creatine and Centurion ATM. They're doing a great job. I think it's because we're getting so many more trot races, but you're seeing these other stallions coming through. So, he's doing a good job, Peak, right at the minute.
He is doing a good job, and thanks to Shane Murphy at Mountain View for his donation there. And you know, without the kind support of all these studs, as Gerard said with Swan Hill, you know, without the kind donation of these studs, these tenders would never happen. And it's an opportunity for people to breed and to to perhaps pick up a bargain somewhere down the track. Yep. But yeah, no, they're a great idea. I've been involved in a few from Bottery here in South Australia, but this is the first one, as I mentioned, that the Square Trotters decided they wanted to do this year. And congratulations to Rich Trevine, who's the president and his committee, the Square Trotters Association. They're doing a great job promoting the Square Trotters here in South Australia. And, you've only got to look at the size of the fields here. Michael Taylor's racing most, as far as I know, all of his trotters here in South Australia now.
No, he's not racing them all because I'm going to pull you up on one in a sec. But you're all right, keep going. It's okay. It's a good one that I'm doing. Don't worry, it's all good.
Which one is he racing here?
It's a 2-year-old. So just when we were talking there before about Sundown's Courage, I got the Lombo up, which is on this Friday night. So for all the trotting people out there, a great 2-year-old trotting race. Sorry, it's not the Lombo. Sorry, it's the Abrahams. I've got to correct myself. It's the Abrahams used to be the Lombo. It's now the Abrahams, and great supporters of harness racing. Full stop. And a great name in harness racing as well. So I do apologise for that. Courage Law is the name of that little horse. He has actually won a race. I said he hasn't won a race. He has indeed won a race. He's had 12 starts for a win, 3 seconds and 2/3. He is by Sundown's Courage. So he's already got a winner as a 2-year-old. And it was just interesting because Star of Patrick Ryan Duffy, I was pretty sure that was a Brad Angove horse. It's actually owned by Michael Taylor. So that was the only reason I knew. I'm not one-upmanship, Garry, in any way other than I literally just had it in front of me. So it's going to be a great race on Friday night too. So make sure people tune in for that one, though. That's for sure.
Michael's a personal friend of mine, and he does a great job with the Square Trotters. He loves his trotters, and congratulations to him. And I must say that Michael always seems to get involved in buying a trotter out of the South Australian tenders too. So I know in the Bottra tenders that we've had in the past, Michael's always put his hand up. So I'm sure he'll probably have a look at these as well. But so tell me, King of the North, what did you think of him?
Hey, lovely horse. Yep, lovely horse. I didn't like. A lot of people ask me when I do the yearlings and the things like that too, Garry. Oh, what did this one look like? You look for a lens. You probably look at things a little bit differently. And I'm not sitting on the fence by any stretch, but you probably don't look at them as much as you look at making sure head, feet are all in frame, and you go from there. But the one thing I was really taken by with him, and in all honesty, all 3 of the boys. one of them is going to get a chip, but they just come off the float. And even the video of What the Hill today, it's amazing how these horses travel. I know they're in quarantine, so they're sort of a little bit settled, if you like, here, but they get off a truck and they just go down, put their head down and eat grass. And he was no different. Both he and Leather Up basically ate grass, had a roll, and then continued to eat grass. The 21-year-old on the other side of him, American Ideal, he decided he'd be a goose, but that's pretty much what he's like, and that's his nature. So no, he's a beautiful horse. Anyone coming to that Stallion Parade, I'm going to have to put Kath on a retainer here. I tell you, she get more publicity for the Stallion Parade, which is on September 10, the week after Father's Day. But yeah, he is well and truly worth coming in to look at. And talking trotters. So's Pastor Stephen, a full brother to Father Patrick. Make sure he'll be there on parade as well. And he's another beautiful horse, and another horse with an immaculate personality, if you like. Once you do a little bit with some of these stallions, and that's the reality is, Gary, I was there, I think at 10 o'clock, and I was left by about 1, videoed 3 horses, and then you come home. So although I have seen him and quite taken by him, he's got straight legs, good body, and the likes, really impressive looking horse to look at. I probably didn't sit there and analyse him in the way that a lot of people might want me to, and so yeah. But I do love their attitudes, those horses.
No, for sure. Paul should mention that anybody who would like to put in a tender on the harness.org website, on the front page, you'll see the advert for the tender there.
Yep.
Just click on that. It'll take you to the whole list of the 8 stallions that we have that are up for bids. And also there's a tender form there. You can give Reg Trevine or his wife Sharon a call. Their mobile numbers are on that tender form. If you want to put in a bid, you can give me a call as well if you need any assistance. Some of our people who might not know how to do tender forms or have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call, and we look forward to and look, harness racing is just booming here in South Australia, and hats off to Harness Racing SA, and Dean Elliott, our CEO here, is really bit the bullet. We tightened the belt for 12 months, and now we're going forward in leaps and bounds here in South Australia. You can tell by the number of races that we're getting, and full fields every week. So and the trotters are holding up their part. As I said, there's been 3 trotting races today at Globe Derby. There was another handful on Saturday night. So the square trotters are doing a great job as well.
No, absolutely. I've got a quirky one, Gary, while I've got you on the phone to show, because I go through the results, and if I'm organised, I actually go through the results earlier than what I do before just doing the show live and make out like I know what I'm doing. I've just got to get rid of the comments for 2 seconds.
Mate, you know me. You and I know each other. That's exactly how we do it, though. We one by the seat of the pants after doing radio for so many years in Adelaide. So.
But here's a quirky one. So I've got the Dancing in the Dark. This is from Saturday night, 3-year-old Trotters of the Future race on there at the minute. Of course, sponsored by Aldebaran Park. Won by Aldebaran Styles. Now, Dancing in the Dark isn't old enough to have any progeny in Australia, but it was won by Aldebaran Eagle, who the ill-fated no longer can stand there. And I got Michelle Arnett. She's on there watching. Of course, the sire of Rocking with Attitude, to say a few of the others. But this is the one that got me. So that's one win. So then the other race was the Aldebaran Trotters Handicap, donated by Sky Valley, and it was won by My Bad Habits, who of course is by Sky Valley. I love Sky Valley. I just actually found that one of those good little quirks that I just really enjoyed going on there too. So I think that was good. While I've got you, how many trots did you say there was today? 3.
There was 3 trotting races today. Yes. Yep.
I can't see the first one. I've got one of them anyway. I'll get to that in a second. I'm just making sure I don't miss all of them. That one's by Betting Line. So race number 4 was the first of those. Confiscated. Ryan Roharic, trained and drive by Sebastian K. Beating Sammy Brownlow in Great Fantasy. That was race number 4. You're going to have to help me because I reckon I can't find one. The High Gain Trotters race was the next one. Race number 6 for Todd Wiedenbach and Gator Pulicino. Beating Hurricane Ed for Ben Wiedenbach. Mario Borg took the drive on that one. I don't know a lot about the two Wiedenbach boys. But, Balmoral Hall and Hurricane Ed taking that one out.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, and the last one. Yeah, well, the last one was by Quaker Jet, actually, who stands with Harass the Trotters. I did see that one with the Northeast Trotters mobile for Phil Pavlich, will I go with?
Pavlich,
Pavlich, another name I don't know a lot about, beating 10 Little Fonzies and Elder Baron Gwen, who is also by Elder Baron Eagle as well. So, So,
Duncan, a lot of the Elder Baron horses make their way across to South Australia. Duncan McPherson and Ryan Hurrick are very good friends, and Ryan quite often trains a few for Duncan. So, and Duncan's been a great supporter of South Australian trotting for many, many years. So we thank him. And look, Dancing in the Dark M is an interesting stallion. He's the fastest 2-year-old ever imported into Australia, trotting stallion imported into Australia. So I'm sure he's going to do a wonderful job, and I think he stands at 4,400, including GST. So put a bid in for him, and you might get it a little bit cheaper.
No, absolutely. And Luke O'Neill generally wins a race. How many horses, throw you under the bus, Gary, how many horses would Luke O'Neill train? And how many of those?
Oh, well, he trains all the Michael Taylors, I know that. He's got quite a few. Luke, and Luke won't mind me saying this. Luke and myself are on diets, and we both lost a lot of weight. we used to be the best two pie eaters at Globe Derby. We're now not allowed to eat pies, and we're both feeling the benefits of being healthier. So, but Luke does a wonderful job with the Square Trotters. He's also on the committee of the Square Trotting Association as well.
Yeah, no, I like. I noticed that he has 8 horses, so I really like to promote it. Gary, thank you. That stallion tender, I said, closes Thursday week after nearly butchering it, but it does. South Australian Square Trotters Association. Get in touch with Reg on 0415 718 545 or his wife Sharon on 0481 170 977, or Gary Newton himself as well. His is the next number, which is 0402 978 424. And if you haven't got any of those, just hit pause on the video. Go back once we finish this live, and you can hit pause, and you'll be able to get those phone numbers off. Is the easiest way to get those done.
Absolutely, and also, as I mentioned, the harness.org on the main page. If you click on that, run your mouse over that ad that's on there, it'll take you to the full list of the 8 stallions we have, and also the tender form as well. Paul, thank you for your support. Always good to catch up, and look forward to seeing you on the 10th of September.
No, I'll be there behind the camera, but I definitely will be there. I don't think I'm doing too much in front, but a lot behind. So, but no, it'd be a good time. Gary, thank you. Thanks for coming on. And anyone wants to get in touch by getting a trotter at a discounted rate, as I said, and you don't have to be in South Australia. You can be in Queensland, Tasmania. We've got to get the trotters going to Tassie as well. Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining me.
Not a problem, Paul. Great show. Keep up the great work.
No, thank you very much. Gary Newton there coming on in relation to the South Australian stallion tender going along. That's sort of most of it. I have got one I've got one oddity actually that did happen. I'm going to go through all the results, but I like to find the oddity. So we are there. Well, it's not an oddity. I just think it's one of those little quirks. They're cousins, actually, so they're both out of sisters. They're out of the One Over Kenny family. What have I done here? I need to go back. So on Saturday night, with the Mimosa Homes Coulter Crown was won by One Overall. He is by Angus Hall out of One Over Kenny. And then on the same night, but this for some reason is just not playing the game. I'm still stuck on South Australia. We've got to go to New South Wales and go for the search there at Menangle. Oh no, that is Menangle, but not today. It was this meeting here at Menangle. The trot on that night was won by One Magic Kenny, a Majestic Sun out of One under Kenny. So both horses out of the one over Kenny family. Yeah, one over Kenny. I was a bit worried there that I mucked that up, but no, the one over Kenny family, Queen of Leader, all of those track back to that same family. The Williamsons breed this horse. I think even when I get onto the New Zealand horses here in a second, you'll find that there's some of the New Zealand horses there even that have won on the same night, or even out of that family. It's a stellar family. I know Phil Williamson's been able to get a couple of the mares as well. So, but it's really, really cool. But just found that quite quirky. The 2 Metro races on the Saturday night for the older horses before Brad Steele or any of the guys in Queensland tell me off were actually for the won by cousins, and I think that's actually really, really cool. And just a little side note, we'll start going through some of these winners now. So if you enjoy sitting back and finding out all the good trotting winners, or if there's any little stories along the sides there, please do. Please still fire all the questions in. Let me know about any of the horses going for it. Now I'm on the right screen. I hate technology, but that's okay. So Albion, so we're going to go, I'm going to start off straight away at Shepparton, because there is one. So Brent Thompson generally watches. He gets involved with a lot of shows. Haven't seen his name pop up tonight, but Tomo, if you're watching, and congratulations, getting the chockies with Sebastian's Boy, a 4-year-old by Sebastian K, out of Pretty Girl Lassie. Win number 4 now from 12 starts at horse with a little bit of ability. So it's a name to keep an eye on there for sure. And then the other trot on the night was won by Focus. And Stacey Towers and Mark Lee both get involved as well. And people who like oddities, of course, Stacey and Mark, or Mark's there as the trainer. We'll get rid of it. No, I've got buttons going everywhere here. We'll get rid of that one there. Mark is the trainer, because Mark won the Barrostock Dash, and I actually gave him his 5 bags of feed, but we will be catching up with him very, very shortly to do a proper interview and a thank you. But yeah, by creatine of all things, but he won the Barrostock Trot. So of course it was going to happen. It was an omen bet, but yeah, we will be catching up. But well done to Stace and to Mark. They don't train a big team of horses, but yeah, they do a great job. The Chook and Buller Park Benno for Terry Gaines, who writes for Harness Link and does a huge job promoting the industry. If Brad Steele and the Queenslanders are still on, I want to know, there's got to be a stewards inquiry. Why was there a pacing race before the trotting races last Tuesday? Trotting Tuesday, we started them all off with the Tuesdays, but anyway, that's okay. Jack Butler was on there earlier. Hate it when you're right. Got the chockies for Jack and Chloe Butler. I'm going to leave them down until we get some more messages. So if anyone wants to get involved, please do. Hate it when you're right. Beat Tam O'Shanta, a horse previously trained in here by Lisa Miles, actually. And Indefensible, a horse trained by Daryl Crone, now Kay Crone, and driven by Matt Crone. So I wonder the relationship is there. Someone might be able to tell me the answer to that one. Got the chockies there in the first. And then En Massey, filly by Majestic Sun. It's actually, another horse actually got a really good little record. This horse here has now had 12 starts, 2 wins and 4 seconds. Been chasing home Rocking with Attitude in the Oaks and the Derby, but good to see them get back and get a winner there as well. So they were the 2 winners from Albion Park on the Tuesday. Menangle had their 2 trot races. Kevin Bazito, I said there before, with Medowie Lodge. Tiger T, Avon Asteros mare, so interesting little one, that one. But of course the Christian Cullen part will come through. And the Night King and Mulberry Pie coming in third there. And then King City for Ricky Orchin, who went around again on Saturday night, beat Leotard and Lace and Valley Star. So good little sprinkling of trotters. Kay is married to Daryl's brother. Thank you very much, Tammy Giles. And is right, Tammy, I'm going to throw you under the bus, or someone else. I just forgot the young gentleman's name. Matt is Matt Kay's son. That will be my next one, but we'll get there. Jet Turnbull, hello you Jet. We don't get too many trotters for the young Jet to drive. We'll have to get Jetty on though. He drove a treble the other night. We might have to get him on loose lines on the phone one night. So he's doing a great job there. But we are talking trotters, but that's okay. We don't have to single them out. I think he's doing a great job, Jet, and well done to everything you do. We will get you on. We went to Western Australia on the Tuesday as well, and Chicago H by Love You out of Martina H. What a beautifully bred gelding that is. Beat Eva's Image and the Honours. That's a beautifully bred horse, isn't it, over there for Kellen Savelko, trained and driven. Good to see the trotters getting more and more trotters out and about, going there. Young wouldn't have had trotters. That's where Jet drove his treble, actually. So, congratulations there for you, Jetty. Where do we go? Horsham. Yarra Valley on to the Wednesday in Victoria. And Antonov brought up, I think that would be his 4th win here in Victoria. Third win of his career, 3rd one here in Victoria. Unfortunately beat E.V. Mack at his first start here, but well done to them, beating Aldebaran Demi. And my Gerry for Nicole Leah. We then had another trot, I'm sure. Oh, maybe we didn't. No, it was only the one trot at Yarra Valley. Sorry. Yeah, it was 2. Okay. I didn't actually say that. Then we went to Melton. Yes, Kay's son. So thank you very much, Tammy, for that information. Really do appreciate that. We another Queenslander to catch up with at some time. Wednesday, trots went to Melton, and Iron Love got the chocolates there for Anton Galino and Nathan Jack, beating Jakarta and More Wanted. Another horse going very, very well. Don't forget, if you're on YouTube, you can fire questions in. There is none there, but that's okay. There was 2 other trots here on the day. Sorry about that for scrolling. If you're watching, gets a bit real. Cerealia by Father Patrick out of Solar. Flash for Marie and Johnny Caldo. Well done to these guys, beating Kai Valley Archer and Lucid for Alex Hurley, who had a good day. Alex is a regular on here. She actually had a winner earlier in the night. And then BB Baroque by Majestic Son as Jumanji Franco, beating Dicko Dixon for Bob Cookenmeister with Michael Cole in the saddle, and My High Peak, horse by Peak, for Joanne Franklin. Round out the top 3. Actually would have got into trouble then, because Buckles got the chockies in the last. So there was 4 trot races on the 1200 metre Wednesday night, beating Mr. Walker and Stick With Me for Ray Sutton, filling in the 3rd spot there. I really do appreciate it when people take the time to respond to some of my messages. It does make the show good, and anyone that is involved and is watching, please feel free to fire any question, promote anything, and make me aware of anything that I may miss going forward. See how much form I did. I don't remember looking at for a Trotters race, but there was one. Fling It. We were talking there before about Sharon Trevino. Don't know Sharon Trevino, but hello to you. Dancing All Alone for Stuart Ashby, and it stands Fling It, but of course he came out with My High Expectations. I'm pretty sure he stood there. I can't think of the name of the farm, but anyway, Old Villa Boy and Sequence filled in the top 3 places. Anthony O'Connor and Xavier O'Connor. I was going to get the boys on, actually. They got a winner at Ballarat the next night. I'm not sure. That could be our next race to highlight, actually, because that was the Thursday at Ararat. Tamworth, Penrith are starting to have a trot, so we better make sure we keep an eye, but no trot. So I think it's actually scheduled for this week. So we went to Mildura here in Victoria, so they didn't have them, but Ballarat. And the 3-year-old, the first race, was taken out by 4 out of 5 for Nicholas O'Connor. So well done to you guys, beating Your Kidding and the Night Queen. And as Gerard Moloney pointed out there before, Star of the Wind in that race there being by American Ideal out of a Christian Cullen mare. But yeah, he was in the market there. There was a couple of trots here. In My Dreams by Lucky Chucky for Joe Borg and Charlie Borg. We mentioned Reg Trevine and Sharon Trevine before. They're on there now. I do now know who Sharon Trevine is. Sorry about that, Sharon. Of course, you're in the stallion tender, so get in touch with Sharon if you want the Shepherd and Sharon. But I am pretty sure that Joey Borg worked for Reg for a little while, so beating Good Heart and Kai Valley Honey Bunny as well in the results. 2-year-old Centurion ATM, we mentioned him there before, beating Rock Valley and Dora Lee. It was a good little trot race. Dora Lee will win a race soon. Hasn't been able to crack it just yet. Magic's Law and Courage Law. Not sure. No, he's by Lawman, Magic's Law. I thought he might have been by Courage. Sundawn's Courage, but no, he wasn't. Now, there was definitely one more trot, I reckon, at Ballarat. And I tell a lie, there wasn't. There was only the 2 trots. There's been a lot of trot races this week. Rightio, Parks, Newcastle, Launceston, Gloucester Park could be the only other one. Queensland didn't have them because Queensland's were on Saturday night, and we have covered off. And then we'll just have a quick look. Nothing that says trot, so I don't think there was any at Gloucester Park on the Friday. So Saturday night we went to, I've done Globe Derby, we've done Albion Park, of course, earlier on. So congratulations to those guys there. There was only, well, there was 2 trots on. I just said there before about 1 over, all getting the chocolates from the stand. His standing start record's amazing. Elderbaron Keeper was a much better run. Anyway, Hugo, he has really returned in terrific form and going terrific. I think he's doing a great job. Oh, sorry. And then the other of the ones, Copacabana for Kyle Marshall, beating Gerardina Ronda and just a bit touchy Gardena. Sorry, Gardena Ronda is a horse to follow. It Savage line late, didn't get out to very, very late. But Copacabana for the Cranbourne Club 21. Well done to those guys as well. Getting the chockies there. I've already done Menangle. They had one there. I don't think Northern have any trots. So we've done all of those. And then Sunday was at Swanhill, and we've done that one as well. So with Gerard Moloney. So well done to everyone involved there. We will now go to New Zealand, this page here, because there's plenty of trotting winners in New Zealand, and they do have a direct effect on us. We're just going to go back to Auckland. They run quite a few of them, so there's only the 3 meetings to cover off, but they're doing an awesome job here. The first race was not a trot race. That was a pacer race. That was for Martin Pearce. Well done to Martin. So we have CPK getting the chockies for Dave McGowan. Jack Butler was on there before, of course. Oh, I forgot the name of the mare he trained, but Dave McGowan actually had it beforehand. Mazeppa and Wish for Fish for Dave McGowan as well, running in third. So Creatine again, Love You and Love You in the first 3 home there. Wish for Fish. That's 2-year-old paces. Luck Chin, L-U-K is how you spell his name. Luck Chin, he's an 80-year-old doctor over there in New Zealand, and his passion is harness racing. Got the chockies with Jasanova beating Luby Lil by What the Hill, and Alana for Luck Chin coming in third there as well. So first 3 home. Brecon Farms, and then he bred it himself. He's a great story. Doesn't give a lot of interviews. The team at New Zealand did get one. They done an awesome job not that long ago either, and there was definitely one more trot, because here it is here. Mark Hurrell got the chockies for Michelle Wallace and Bernie Hackett with Springbank Mason, Kim Carner Dash, and Laurie's Legacy. And you can see there before Bernie Hackett and Michelle Wallace got a huge team of trotters. Crystal, their daughter, she ran 6th just there. You can, the mouse, this works. There she drove her 50th winner the other day. I should be getting her on some stage too. Majestic Sun, Sky Valley, and Majestic Sun as well. And that last race is a pacing race, even though they are Bettor's Delight. Actually, very quick one. Trifecta to Bettor's Delight. Whoa, get off this. Thank you. Friday night, there was a couple. Now, this is where one of those, here, Aurora Kenny for Brad Williamson and Philia Williamson beat It's So Easy. Not as bad as it looks. Kate Butt and Ron Stempleton, Love You at a Royal Kenny. So that horse is out of that same family. There's another one, because that wasn't the one I was thinking of. Beating Majestic Sun with Intent, and Peak Piper Ruby as well, coming in the top 3. I'll get off that because you guys get giddy. I get giddy when I rewatch them back sometimes. And go from there. race for the Renwick Farms Mobile Trot was taken out by Out of My Way. Paul Nan, not sure the gentleman's name actually. Harrison drove it. Katie Cox with Spider Moments, and Son of Patrick for Michael House and Wilson. Haven't seen Michael on tonight. He's been slipping, but I will give Wilson a fair rap for a pacing drive. I don't know if it's later on tonight, but it won't be on this show. It'll be on the other show. Love You, Do It Your Way. Monarchy, Pick the Moment, and Father Patrick were the three winners there. Three place getters there. And Sinbad is not. He's by Seaside. He stands at Woodland Stud. That's Wilson's Drive there. Here we are here. Bruce Negus, that's right, Bruce Negus, and I'm not sure the lady's name, Young Grant. Good little drive there with Buffy. North Staines beat Sue's Dash and Salvo. Bruce had 2 in the race, but Buffy Nations went terrific by Majestic Sun out of My Mum's a Star. Trixton, AAA, and Love You, Songgate Sally. That's a nice family, Songgate Sally. Actually, Songgate Sally, that's a family of Sky Valley. Correct me if I'm wrong, someone. Please don't mind being corrected in any way. Pacing race. And then they had Sunday at a place called, I'll flick it up. There it is there, Kuroa. But it was at Oamaru. If you were watching the races, it was at Oamaru track. And on the TAB app, and if you want to go and watch the replays, please do. There was a couple of winners. That's also 5-year-old Evans' first start of pacing race. Horse called Tossie's Son galloped and won like he's going to win plenty more races. That is for sure. Just trying to find. Here we are. Here, Mark the Warrior for Matty Williamson. Beat his dad and brother with Kenny's Charm. Of course, that'll be out of that same family. And I Love walked in for Ben Hope and Greg and Gina. Greg won a pacing race. Benny. They both all did a pacing race a little bit later on by Majestic Sun out of Princess Harbour. That is Matty Williamson's one. Muscle Mass, nice one. Kenny, another horse. Again, that same family. And then Love You. It's summertime for the Hopes. That also actually went through the sales as well. I can tell you Sir Lincoln had half a day out, but he didn't win a trotting race. That's for sure. He won quite a few. I think it's this race here. Yep, Sassy's a Star for Brent and Tim White. Kate Butt beat Crazy in Love and Kuro Trouble. Going around there. Jesse Young Grant. Cameron Grant's wife. Thank you very much, Cambrai. Great to see you up and about. Okay, so we'll get back to that one in a sec. Majestic Sun, My Mum's a Star. We mentioned that horse just before. Love You, The Earth Moved, and Super Fast Stuart. Mum the Dot were the 3 place getters in there, but we'll try and highlight some of the others, especially as we're going through. Cambrai on there with the sales coming up, but of course a lot of the good trot races are now starting to come up. That's the Kuroa Cup. That was a pacing race for Ben Hope, and then they had the Tamaka Transport. Rightio, thank you very much. So if someone has reached out to me, I will definitely do that. I'll talk through that one. This was a Kuro Trotting Cup, $17,000 to stakes. Galleon's Ambassador for Johnny Morrison, beating Jimmy Carter, and Don Monte's Call for Brad and Phil Williamson. Sorry, Maddie Williamson, because Brad ran third with the other horse there. Love You, Galleon's Royale, The Prez, Joanne, and Trixton, and the Dominator were the 3 place getters there. I had it on the wrong screen. We'll go back that way. I didn't realise it was on me. So there they are there. All your place getters as well. So and that race possibly might have a little bit of a bearing to some of the better races coming up. But all the good horses are starting to come back in New Zealand. So I want to make sure we can continue to highlight those so that people are aware of them when they start stepping up. Majestic Mountain's not far off stepping out. Sorry, I just got the wrong page. So because I've got to get the girls. So Cam said there, Jess Jess Young Grant won the race, trained by Bruce Negus. I'm just trying to find the horse, Neil. Shouldn't have done that. I should have just been. It doesn't matter. If you're still watching, you're enjoying the show. Must be this race here. There we are there. So, yeah, and Cameron works for Woodlands. So he is a rep there. So Buffy, no stains for Bruce Negus. Because Bruce trained a pretty good horse back in the day. Horse called Courage Under Fire. I was waiting for people to tell me off for that. Thank you very much, Cam Bray, who's been over with the trotting ones. So sorry, the text message I got was from Keith Gillies, who got the phone number through Lindsay Vag. If anyone wants to, any of the states, any of the people that I repeat over here quite a lot, if you're in New Zealand, you want to get any messaging out there, obviously Cam Bray, and that, but anyone in Queensland, Brad Steele, Darren Clayton, any of those guys, please reach out to them and get your message out to me in New South Wales, South Australia. Get your message out there, and more than happy to get it out there and promote it, because I think the story with Kathryn is an awesome story, and it's a story of why we all enjoy the Trotters and why we have so much fun. As I said, the Abrahams is coming up on Friday at Shepparton, one of the feature races, and then the other one that is going to be on is the home field. And I did have a look at those horses that are going to be stepping out. I can say it is a pretty good field of horses. I'll give you a sneak peek. I've just got to go get into it this way. Won't show you my password, so just wait till if you bear with me for 1 sec. But it's a pretty good field of trotters going to step out into the Caduceus Club. Got to get rid of that. I've got to move that from time to time, make it a bit easier than doing it this way. But Aldebaran Miley, Basilica, Grumpy, Mucho Mari, Majestic Tooth Mari, Franklin, a couple there. My Personal Jet, Moonwalker, She's a Wish, and the Locomotive. She's a Wish ran second in the New South Wales Oaks. The Locomotive is a 5-time Group 1 winning horse and was terrific. My Personal Jet has been Group 1 placed. Basilica, high price yielding through the sales. Grumpy, I'm going to say is 1, 4 or 5. 1, 3. Grumpy has. Aldebaran Miley, of course, won the APG Trotters fillies. She didn't stay up in Queensland. She's won 5 from 16. That's a cracking field. There is a couple horses in there that might be in a little bit of trouble, but other than that, it is a ripping field there of trotters. And since I've got this page opened up here as well, I can show you the early noms for the Abrahams with the 2-year-olds. And great to see Nordic Rain back at the track, 2 from 2. But Link in Bio, Link in Bio's record is pretty cool. 3 starts, 2 wins, and a second. The only second was to Nordic Rain. But yes, a really nice field of trotters. There's also some good fields for the 2-year-olds later in the week. I'm trying to think where that is, but I better get off that page because I'll end up hitting the wrong button. But there is some nice 2-year-old trotters. Might be at Bendigo Wednesday night, so keep an eye. Bendigo's not on Wednesday night. Might be tomorrow night. They're 3-year-old trotters. Maybe it's on Wednesday night. It is too. After the 1200 metre races, there you are. There's a full field of the 2-year-old trotters, like highlighting the 2-year-old trotters as they're starting to step out. A couple of first starters, Aleppo Rain for Chris Lang by Father Patrick out of Aleppo Jewel. Unfortunately, a Group 1 winner, and I say that tongue-in-cheek. We ran second with Lucinda Mack to Aleppo Jewel. Mega Spur for Joe Pace by Pegasus Spur out of El Scorcher. El Scorcher 1-3, and I think it was a trotter. It's by Megamind, who was a pacer, but no, couldn't have been because it won at Mildura. So no, that's an interestingly bred horse, that's for sure. So anyway, and then a couple of the others: Stride Hill, Aldebaran Campbell, Aldebaran Linsky as well. So there's plenty of nice ones in there going around. That's on Wednesday night after the 1200 metre races at 2 o'clock. Rightio, this has been the What the Hill Talking Trotters for What the Hill. And as I said, he arrived safely today. Beautiful stadium. Make sure you check him out. There's a proper video being put up by the team at Woodlands. But yeah, What the Hill arriving, and he's a lad. As I said, the weather's not the most pleasant, so they did a good job just to even get the videos, and you can see when he trots off how slippery the ground is underneath. But yep, huge thank you to the team at Woodland Stud for their continued support, and make sure you go to woodlandstud.co.nz for all the details on What the Hill and their entire stallion range. Thank you. Talking Trotters show will be back next week. Of course, brought to you by What the Hill and Woodlands. They've got a commitment right through to the end of Christmas. And I thank them a lot. We'll be getting in touch with a few people who might be going more Queensland by the looks. So thank you very much to everyone else who's got involved in the show. I really do appreciate it. And it will be back next Monday on Loose Lines from 6 o'clock this Wednesday. So make sure you tune in there, and we'll have plenty of other news going on there. So thank you very much, and see you all either Wednesday or back here next Monday talking Trotters.
Yes, Mickey, with less than a 16th to go. What the Hill, a short lead. Lindy the Great to the inside. Yes, Mickey, coming to the wire. It's What the Hill, and David Miller winning the
Pocket sitter turned first over attacker What the Hill. And behind them, Dover Dan from in third. International Money still got work to do. They're in deep stretch, and here comes What the Hill. And Miller on the outside. What the Hill converting off the pocket trip to win the Canadian Trotting Classic. He won it by 3 going away. It's What the Hill.
Third, 3/4, 124 and 2 into the stretch. Looks like Chippendale appears to be on the verge. Crazy Wild trying to fend him off. Room at the rail for What the Hill. He's raging late. And in heavy traffic is Pinkman on the far outside. Dayson trying to close in. But off the rail comes What the Hill, the 3-year-old. What the Hill to seal his division. What the Hill. Then Dayson. And then it was Pinkman third and Mambo Lindy fourth. What the Hill in 1:51 and 4 in the TVG Open Trot Final.
Yes, Mickey, with less than a 16th to go. What the Hill.